Okay, it's official time for this A to Z mini rework. My thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. We are finally on Misfortune, the bounty hunter. Style mostly auto attack with a little ability. I'd honestly say it's more kind of split, to be completely honest. And difficulty 1, that's extremely true, with her only real quality being damage. Indeed, I would agree with that. Kind of give the mobility thing a little bit, but a Bilgewater captain famed for her looks but feared for her ruthlessness, Sarah Fortune paints a stark figure among the hardened criminals of the port city. As a child, she witnessed the Reaver King gangplank murder her family, an act she brutally avenged years later, blowing up his flagship while he was still aboard. Those who underestimate her will face a beguiling? An unpredictable opponent, beguiling, okay, and likely a bullet or two in their guts. Jesus. Okay. Finally, let us go to her abilities, the most basic thing the world's ever seen. Love Tap. Misfortune deals bonus physical damage whenever she basic attacks a new target. It's literally Jarvan passive. There you go. Double Up. Well, it's not literally Jarvan. It's close enough. Double Up. Misfortune fires a bullet at an enemy, damaging them and a target behind them. Both strikes can also apply Love Tap. And they do even more damage if the first person dies. Like the first thing hit does more damage to the second thing hit. Strut. Misfortune passively gains movement speed when not attacked. This ability can be activated to grant bonus attack speed for a short duration. While it's on cooldown, Love Taps reduce the remaining cooldown of Strut. Make It Rain. Misfortune reveals an area with a flurry of bullets, dealing waves of damage to opponents and slowing them. This ability is useless except for the slow. Bullet Time. The only good ability she really had. Well, not good ability. The only effective thing she has in a team fight. Misfortune channels a barrage of bullets into a cone in front of her, dealing large amounts of damage to enemies. Each wave of bullet time can critically strike. So for the most part, Misfortune is one of the most basic ADCs in the game. She is very... I'm not going to say she's unbalanced, nor is she balanced, because to be completely honest, her damage is kind of ridiculous if you don't do anything well. Like, if you just let her auto-attack different targets every time, or let her double ups keep bouncing to you by standing in the wrong place, or being in things along that line, it's super destructive. But her W really isn't all that effective. Even when she gets the bonus attack speed from it, it's nothing that to worry about that much. Her passive isn't really that good in a fight, because usually you want to attack the same target over and over again, and her E doesn't do much damage. The only real reason anyone uses it is for the slow. Her R is the only reason that anyone cares about Misfortune. This ability can single-handedly win a team fight because you literally just hit everything and you do waves and a ton of damage to all of it. Not a little amount, a ton of damage to everything. To be completely honest, I think that Misfortune needs kind of a buff to make the rest of her kit a bit more sustainable. I think that her ult being the only good thing about her really isn't that great. And the main reason I say this is because if anyone builds anything that isn't like penetration, like armor pen, it's just not going to work. It just doesn't happen. It's not a good plan. It doesn't really work out like it should. And, yeah, for the most part, you only really want to build her ult. So, on her ult, or for her ult, so you just want to build damage. And just building attack speed really isn't that great, because, like, her auto attacks on their own really don't do as much damage as, like, every other ADC in the game. So, yeah. So, honestly, the main things, like, I think her passive's fine, that it doesn't need changed. I think her Q is fine, that it doesn't need changed, because those are the only, like, really major things about her. The things that I think could use a bit of assistance is her E and her Q, and her W. Her R, I think if these changes do go through, her R should be nerfed a little bit, maybe do less damage, or maybe the cone gets wider over levels. That way, early level it's not as great. but what it should be in like the early stages is like it'll get bigger and just like wider every time you level it up. So her E will still remain something along of like make it rain. So as she will cause bullets to come down in an area, and then like enemies hit in that area, she will gain bonus movement speed 2 or something along that line. The main thing is I would actually like her auto attacks to do kind of something, or like her E lowers your armor. That would be definitely something. And then her strut can give her bonus movement speed, just passive bonus movement speed to enemies that have a love tap. So the last enemy she auto attacks, she will have bonus movement speed around them, just in the general area. Things like this will allow her to maneuver in a fight. She'll be able to auto attack someone and then just run around easier. She can actually activate her strut and just move right and just auto attack everyone and still being able to move around. Her E, which as I said, should definitely be allowed to like lower armor or something. But then after these changes are made, then her R should do less damage, or not do less damage, become a smaller radius. And that's just a real quick overview. Is passives stay the same, Q stay the same, W. Enemies that have been hit by love tap her passive gave her bonus movement speed while around them, and enemies hit by her E also lose like armor resistance or armor. Her skins is plentiful: Cowgirl, Waterloo, Secret Agent, Candy Cane, Road Warrior. I don't know why it's Red Warrior. Mafia, Arcade, Captain, Pool Party, Star Guardian, Gun Goddess, Pajama Guardian, Bewitching. Honestly, they all look great. Ever since they did the update on all of them, I legitimately think that every single one of the skins is good in its own right. And I'm not joking, there's too many to rate. So my favorite is definitely Gun Goddess. Like, what were you expecting me to say? The skin, I like the newer skin, but I don't think it's amazing. One of her other good skins that I really do like is is the Road skin. A skin that I like but shouldn't like because it really ain't that great is the Arcade skin. And yeah, Misfortune.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids scream.